in cleaner production technologies from Fraunhofer IFF in Germany with 25 years of working experience. I am sure that we can learn a lot when it comes to the field of environmental engineering and business leadership. Everyone, please give Engineer Richard Bryan Uy, PSEnvi, MEC, a warm round of applause.
Hello. Okay. I am wired, so okay. I think that's better. Okay, I want to move around. Kumusta po kayo? Okay na po. Go UST! Woo! Grabe! Proud. Napakasaya naman na bumalik dito. You know, this is my first time to return in this very building that I graduated. Probably, ayan, ayoko na sabihin, pero 1997. Ayan, tagal na, no? Grabe, ang tanda-tanda ko na. But before we begin, I would like to tell you my story. And I don't know if you will relate or not. So sabi ko, we were 7 in high school before we graduated. We were 7 na barkada. So sabi nun, tara, mag-mechanical engineering tayo. So tuwan-tuwa kami lahat, di ba? Barkada. Di kami, talagang, sige, mag-mechanical engineering tayo. Alam niyo bakit gusto namin mag-mechanical engineering? Dahil daw gusto namin maging mekaniko sa kotse. Literally. Same. Huwag kayo umamin. Same? Alright. Ito masakit. Ako lang yung pumasa. Ako lang yung pumasa sa UST. My goodness, that was really bad. I mean, to a certain point, you would wonder if you were in my situation, nagkamali ba ako na maging mechanical engineer? Di ba? Pero I think you guys have a better take on life because you start early about, I keep on hearing the things like, yung passion, go for it, di ba? Go for what you love. And I think to a certain extent, that is very important in determining what career or profession you would like to take. Yes? Sobrang importante. I am generally a professional accident. Okay? Aksidente. Hindi ba aksidente yon? But I do believe as a Christian, in my Christian faith, there's no accident. Yun yung point. So this afternoon, I hope that I will not bring confusion but clarity sa bawat isa sa inyo. It's not that you want to take the profession that I'm gonna present to you, but by presenting this, parang, ay, mas gusto ko yung isa. Maybe somehow, it will provide some clarity. So okay ba yun sa inyo? Alright, so let's begin. Sometimes, iniisip natin, okay, pag tinignan nyo, engineering the invisible. Literally kasi, wastewater treatment, a lot of those things in a wastewater treatment system is quite invisible. Kasi it's both a process design, tama di ba? And also engineering or mechanical design. Right? So you are designing something that is invisible, but also there are visible things like pumps and blowers and these things. Alright, so may mga mechanical systems in place. So ang question ko is this something that you would like to take as a profession in the future? And hopefully, tingnan natin kung magugustuhan nitong yung position or yung ginagawa ko. Kung boring ba to sa inyo or hindi. So in the Philippines, just to give you an idea, ganyan na tayo ngayon, di ba? Ang ganda. Hindi ko alam kung naabutan nyo pa nung ganito. Ganito yan dati. Pero because of all the hard work that's being done not only by the government but also especially yung mga private companies, no? Yung mga Pasig River Rehabilitation, gumanda na ng konti. But still, bagong term ba ito? Fecal coliform. Narinig nyo na ba ito? Sino nakarinig na ng word na fecal coliform? Sabi ko na eh. Fecal coliform is the type of bacteria that actually lives in the gut intestines. So, pagka merong fecal coliform bacteria in the water, that simply means what? May tae doon. Ew. So, yan o, 2 million, 2.4 million, most probable number, ganun kadaming tae or fecal coliform bacteria in every 100 ml. Swimming pa kayo. Sige, go. Alright? Alright. Nako. Ano ba? Ito next. Okay. So, bakit ba importanteng malinis yung tubig? Bakit ba kailangan talaga wastewater treatment? Ano ba ang role ng mga mechanical engineers? Bakit ba kailangan tayo dito? Ito bang profession na ito is something that I would like to take. So, dahil yan sa batas. Meron tayong batas, Philippine Clean Water Act, na kailangan i-treat yung lahat ng wastewater bago itapon. Bawal magtapon ng tubig na hindi na-treat. Thus, wastewater treatment. And this aligns very clearly and properly with Sustainable Development Goals. Narinig nyo na ba to SDG? So ito na yung in, no? Ito na yung in. SDG number 6 is clean water and sanitation. A lot of the points there, by 2030, yan talaga ang role, yan ang goal. Dapat malinis yung tubig, dapat maganda yung water supply, dapat pag nagpupo, hindi na sa labas or kahit saan-saan, right? Including discharges or wastewater or sewage, dapat malinis siya bago itapon. And of course, it also aligns with Life Below Water, SDG 14, number 14, which is, yung unang-unang statement doon is, making sure that pollutants, land-based pollutants, does not end up in our receiving bodies of water. Okay, can you guys give me an example of a receiving body of water? Come on. Ocean, very good, ah. Rivers, ano pa? Seas, okay. Lakes, isigaw niyo pa. Waterfalls, fine, good. May isang na may miss out. Ha? Estuary, good, perfect. One more. I need one more. Something that's invisible. What is it? Huh? What? Groundwater. May water sa ilalim ng tubig, di ba? Mga mechanical engineers, pwede tayo magkabit ng pipe. Meron tayong pump to extract water coming from the ground. Yes? That's also included. Alright, so ano ba yung outlook sa Pilipinas? Karamihan ng treatment natin, septic tanks, yun ang alam natin. Imagine in engineering building code sa buong Pilipinas, where is the plumbing code, not mechanical engineering, plumbing code, building code, whatever codes, ano pa ba, sanitation or sanitary engineering code, walang clarity in terms of wastewater treatment to pass the standards. Ang nakalagay doon, septic tank. Hindi makakapasa ang septic tank. Luma na ito, guys. Hindi kaya. Okay? And in fact, that is what the statistics says. According to the Philippine Statistics Agency, sabi niya, only 5.6% of the households in the Philippines are connected to sewerage systems. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng sewerage systems? A system that treats sewage. Parang komplikado, pero actually madali lang yan. Binaliktad ko lang kayo para magmukha akong matalino. Okay. So, Philippine Outlook. So, only 15% of wastewater that is generated in Manila, West Zone. So, merong East Zone, West Zone. Isipin nyo na lang as Manila Water, Maynilad. Only 15% is treated before discharge. Ibig sabihin nun, guys, almost 20% or 20% are not being treated. Grabe, no? Saklap. Tama? So yan ang laki ng role potentially na mga mechanical engineers coming from UST, right? Para makatulong sa paglinis ng ating mga katubigan. Okay, this is a good thing however, no? Mariquinas 81% sewer coverage leads MWSS service area in National Wastewater Management Push. So Marikina, sino mga taga Marikina? Shout out. Come on. Wala. Oh, okay. Meron mga taga Marikina. Good. Well, it's not because of government lang, but of course it's a push coming from the concessionaire. But the government, napakalaki ang tulong niyan. Bakit? Kasi sila ang nag-approve ng mga construction permits. Sila ang nag-approve ng mga rights of way. Tama? So malaking tulong pa rin. So congrats to mga Marikina, no? So ito lang, just to give you a good idea. This is the first recycling or reuse or treatment for reuse facility in the Philippines. First, so Maynilad did it. So merong wastewater, okay? Sorry, imagine water supply. Ang water supply gagamitin natin whether pangligo o sa banyo, 'di ba, sa toilet, sa cooking and everything. It ends up in the sewerage ng Maynilad. And then Maynilad collects it through a conveyance system at dadalhin sa centralized sewage treatment plant, yung magti-treat nga ng sewage. And nire-recycle yun. Gagamitin ulit, imagine, pwede na siyang mainom ulit. Iinom kayo ng tubig na galing sa... Would you? Kayo engineer. Siyempre, mas high-tech na yung aerospace, di ba? Pero I don't know if I can drink, but yeah, Singapore does that. The citizens of Singapore would actually literally drink recycled sewage. Even in Japan, oh yeah, diba? So we are getting there. That is the new frontier. That is the new path towards sustainability in the Philippines. So, bakit ba importante yung maintindihan natin as mechanical engineers, yung possibility na magkaroon tayo ng opportunity sa wastewater treatment field? Dahil maraming processes involved dyan. So sa wastewater treatment process spectrum, ganito kadami yung mga processes. Familiar ba kayo? Sino ang mga familiar dito? Anyone familiar? Physical treatment. Can I get a raise of hands? Familiar sa physical treatment. Okay? How about biological treatment? Dalawa lang yan. Okay, hindi kayo nag-raise na. Hindi nyo talaga alam o hindi kayo nakikinig. Wala. Okay, good. Chemical treatment. Grabe, no? Oo. So, chemical treatment and advanced treatment. So, ito yung apat na general processes involved. Pagka ikaw ay mechanical engineer, mag-design ka, ito yung mga processes na gusto mong bantayan. Okay, so far? So, ano ba yung mga tinatanggal natin? Marami kasing mga pollutants sa loob ng wastewater na dapat tanggalin sila lahat. And these are the ways how to remove them. So, medyo simplihan lang natin. Huwag natin komplikahin, ano? So, for physical treatment, yan, tinatanggal niya yung mga solids, tatanggalin niya yung oil and grease. Simple. Let us be practical. How do you think we can remove oil in water? Huh? So, there's oil. What is the characteristic of oil where you can actually think about separating oil from water? Huh? Yeah, I heard it. Yes, density, specific gravity, di ba? Why? Because specific gravity of oil is
0.8.
lower, which means it is more buoyant. Very good. Yun, pakpasa tayo. Si Sir Romel. Nasaan si Sir Romel? Okay. May pag-asa tayo, guys. Pagkadating nyo kay Sir G-Boy, Almira, siya siguro magtuturo ng hydraulics, fluid dynamics. Hindi ko alam kung yan yung mga subject niya ngayon, pero yan ang dadaanan ninyo. Okay, biological treatment. Imagine, mamaya, explain ko, meron naman yung explanation mamaya. So ito yung mga treatment processes. Ayan, bibilisan natin. Physical treatment, ito yung sabi ko sa team ko, gawan mo ng presentation na gumagamit ng Gen Z na slang. Kung hindi, mukha akong matanda doon. Right? So sabi niya, low-key hero. Tama ba yan? Okay, low-key hero. Ibig sabihin, ito talaga ang basic na basic na basic. Okay? Kung pwede natin sabihin, so basically, just gravity, filters, and barriers can remove some of the nastiest wastewater pollutants. Ganon yan, mga solids, right? So the big junk is out. So wastewater passes through metal bars, mesh that can catch large debris such as sticks, plastics, rags, bottles. Guess ano pang pwedeng nandun? Sa BPOs. This is icky but it's true. Napkins, tampons, diapers. Kasi we operate and maintain sewage treatment plants. Condoms. Ganun katindi. Diyan makikita yan. So, di ba? May role tayo, mechanical engineers, para maglinis. Okay. So, you can do sedimentation and settling. Alright? It's okay, no? So, doing sedimentation and settling, let gravity do the dirty work. Why? Kasi, syempre, pag solids, mas mabigat, babagsak. Pag oils naman, baliktad, aakyat, right? And then, sa filtration naman, gagamit tayo ng filters. It's as simple as using, if you're familiar with water, ano yun, tawag dito, yung water refilling stations, they use a lot of filters. So, of course, the type of filters here will not, will focus mainly on the dirty stuff. So, tiny particles, matatanggal po yan dyan. Alright, next one. This is quite specific, dissolved air flotation. Imagine, oils, normally, it will go up, tama? But sometimes, yung mga oils neto are so tiny, sobrang liit, that yung mga laban-laban ng mga, how do you call that? The particles, or oil particles, will go against each other. So, positive and positive, or negative and negative. So, magtutulakan lang sila, hindi sila mag-attract. So, it stays afloat, or it stays there. So, by putting or introducing dissolved air, like literally maliliit na hangin, aangat lahat ng yun kasi angat ang hangin. Alright, so inaangat, hinihiwalay ang mga dumi, especially fats, oils, and grease. So yan ang role ng DAF. Mechanical engineering device ba ito? The answer is yes. It's an electromechanical equipment that uses a lot of mechanical principles. Alright. Reverse osmosis, ganun din. Understanding how filters can actually remove smaller and smaller particles such that ang nakakalusot lang ay the elements H2O. Water ang makakalusot lang. Ganun siya kaganda. So far, so good? Okay ba? Alright. So next one is biological treatment. Now, you'll be surprised, biological treatment? Para anong kinalaman sa mechanical engineering doon? Malaki. Kasi ang bacteria ang main hero ng wastewater treatment. It's bacteria. So understanding a little bit of how bacteria work is a good thing for mechanical engineers. Kasi ito pala mga bacteria na to, ito rin naman ang kumakain ng ating, alam mo na. Right? Sila rin. Right? Sabi nga nila, fight fire with fire, water with water. Same thing. This is bacteria or biological waste coming from our back and front, right? Yun din ang pang-treat natin. Bacteria din. So, biological treatment ang pang-treat nun. And normally, sino magsasabi ko anong meaning ng OG? Tinanong ko anong meaning ng OG? Original, Dad. It's original, right? Tapos tinignan ko parang original gangster pa pala ang meaning pala noon. Sabi ko, grabe, ang layo na ng intindi ko sa lengguwahe ng mga bata ngayon. Pero at least nakakasakay ako, di ba? Pwede ba yan? Kaya bang sumakay? Alright. So, OG of biological treatment. Ito yung pinakasimple, septic tank. Pero, sabi ko nga, outdated. Kung ang facility na pagtatrabaho in the future, septic tank pa, sabihan mo na yung CEO, boss, hindi yan papasa, babagsak yan, sabi ni Sir Bryan. Okay? Alright. So, ano yung mga papasa? Yung mga ibang klase. So, there is what you call a conventional activated sludge system. Hindi ko kayo ibobore dito. Okay? This is too boring. It took me 2 years as one of the subjects is wastewater treatment as may biological, mechanical treatment process. Maiksi lang tayo. So, basically, it is a process design with mechanical or electromechanical equipment and processes that allow bacteria to thrive. So bacteria requires oxygen. And oxygen, to pump it into the bacteria where wastewater is, kailangan mo ng blower. O, di ba? Mechanical yan. Tama? So blowers now are the mechanical engineering side. Ayan. So next is a sequencing batch reactor. So basically, bacteria din ang hawak nito. Pero, ang objective niya is isang tangke lang, nandun na lahat ng processes. So, huwag nyo na lang komplikahin. Basta pag nakita nyo SBR, isang klaseng wastewater treatment din yan. Okay, so salam, batch, react, repeat. Okay? So, what is BOD by the way? Baka mamaya, ano kaya itong BOD na to? Board of Directors ba yan? Bad odor ba yan? Okay, linawin ko. Biochemical oxygen demand. So, pag sinabi mong biochemical oxygen demand, yun yung required oxygen ng bacteria para kainin yung madumi. Alright? It's an oxygen demand to eat everything, all the pollutants. Make sense? Okay, yan yung BOD. Hindi yan bad odor ha? Okay, so next is membrane aerated biofilm reactor. So pag tinignan mo, parang napaka-komplikado pero basically it's just filters. Okay, PE filters, iba-ibang types of plastic material yan, which is put into a tank together with the bacteria. So yung bacteria hindi makakalabas, yung makakalabas lang ay malinis na tubig. And then we have also yung tinatawag na moving bed biofilm reactor. Has anyone played basket? Sino mahilig na basketball? Come on. Siyempre, konti na lang ba mahilig talaga mag-basketball, guys? Okay, good. During my time, 5 years ang mechanical engineering dati. During my time, 4 times nag-champion ang UST. Yes! Okay, talagang golden years yun. 4 feet during our time. Oh, okay. Sorry. Kaya yan. Laban yan. Golden Tigers tayo, di ba? So, ang MBBR is, pag nagbabasketball tayo, minsan nagbabasketball tayo sa kalsada tapos may kanal. Tapos yung basketball malalaglag sa kanal. It leaves a mark in the canal. Right? O, di ba? Nagbabasketball tayo sa streets. Kasi yung bacteria yun, yung natanggal. When it leaves a mark, yung nakadikit sa walls, yan yun. So, bacteria pa rin siya. That is the kind of principle that MBBR uses. So, gumagamit tayo ng mga maliliit na mga plastics, dumidikit yung bacteria doon para mag-stay lang siya sa tangke, hindi siya natatapon. Alright? Got that? Okay, so... And then, ito yung last two. So, chemical treatment. Of course, as mechanical engineers, baka masyado na. I think that's too complicated for me. Simple lang naman kasi there are very few chemicals that you use. And once you understand how to use it, it's basic. Okay? So, normally, aluminum sulfate, ferric chloride, polyamines, PAC, yan yung mga usual na ginagamit natin. So, just to not bore you, huwag kayong mahirapan dito kasi may formula na yan just in case. Okay. And then, disinfection. So, when you drink water coming from the tap, you will smell chlorine. Tama? That is a disinfectant. That's why, even in wastewater treatment, gumagamit pa rin tayo ng chlorine or chlorination. So that is one way of removing yung kanina sa slide na fecal coliform. Yun yung pangpatay doon, yung chlorination na yan. Okay. And then finally, ito na. So hopefully I'll be able to let you ask questions. I hope I'm within time. Sumobra ba ako? Okay, within time. Alright. So advanced treatment. Normally, advanced treatment is sometimes not advanced when you look at the types of wastewater treatment technologies available. Advanced treatment simply means this. Your objective, listen your objective is not just to treat it to pass the standards. Your objective is more than passing the standards. Ano yun? Reuse, recycle, reclaim. Yung mga ganon. Yun yung gusto mo. So not only to comply with government regulations, but you want to use it for yourself. Yun yung reason bakit gusto mo mag-advanced treatment. Another reason is that meron kang wastewater na hindi kayang i-treat ng conventional, hindi kayang i-treat ng physical, hindi kayang i-treat ng biological, hindi kayang i-treat ng chemical. Doon papasok si advanced wastewater treatment processes. Okay? So one of that is electrocoagulation. So meron tong both mechanical, electrical understanding. So what happens is maglalagay lang siya ng metal electrodes, kakainin ng metal yung wastewater pollutants. Ganun lang siya kasi magre-release ng mga metal ions, didikit yung metal ions na yun dun sa pollutants, or actually baliktad, vice versa. So, dahil didikit, matatapon, kumbaga scrape out yung metal na yun, so papalitan mo yung metal na yun. But in doing so, you have actually captured the pollutants. So, yan yun, advanced treatment. And then, advanced oxidation process. Familiar ba kayo sa UV? UV? Okay, anong gamit ng UV? Usually for disinfection, right? Okay, so the UV is also one of the rays, or one of the, what you call that, the kind of light frequency that is generated by the sun. Yun yung magpapasunog ng balat natin. So, but UV also can be produced or generated using a UV generator. So, yan yung objective natin para maging treatment process siya. And are you familiar with ozone? What is ozone? So, O3, di ba? Oxygen with 3 atoms. And the reason why ozone is being used is because it is so unstable. O2, very stable. O3 is very unstable that anything that gets in its way gets devoured. Ganun na idea nun. So, it kills bacteria, it destroys organics, it destroys inorganics. So, you'll understand that when you go through your chemistry. Anong year ang chemistry? Nakalimutan ko na, second year?
Senior.
First year ba yun? Grabe. Sino na ba mga teachers ngayon? Hindi ko natatunayan, baka retire. So, mechanical engineers, future mechanical engineers, are you up for the task ahead to become a contributor to wastewater treatment as a profession? Thank you very much and good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Engineer Richard, for that excellent presentation. We are glad that you have joined us today. At this point of the event, we may now proceed to the open forum.
For those who have questions or wish to gain further insights from Engineer Richard, you may proceed to the nearest microphone stand. Please don't forget to state your name and section before posing your question.
Good afternoon po, Engineer. I'm John Rick Flora from PSEnvi po. Recently po kasi parang nagkaroon po kami ng plant tour sa Japan. So ang question ko po is, ano po yung sa Pilipinas po, ano po yung ginagawa dun sa sludge? Kasi po sa Japan po, parang ini-incinerate po nila yung sludge na nakuha nila. Tapos yung mga nasunod po, parang inahalo po nila sa paggawa ng bricks. So po, dito po sa Pinas, ano po ginagawa dun sa sludge?
Okay, masaklap. Narinig niyo yung kwento ni Sir Janrick? Yes, Janrick. Sabi niya, sa Japan daw, yung sludge, kasi biological sludge, chemical sludge, sinusunog daw sa Japan or ini-incinerate. So, meaning, magiging ash. So, yung ash na yun, ginagamit siya as fillers doon sa paggawa ng bricks. So, yes, correct. Ano daw ginagawa dito sa Pilipinas? Alam niyo ba bawal incineration sa Pilipinas? Bawal ang incineration. We are one of the very few, in fact, probably the only one right now in the entire world na binawal ang incineration. It's a political issue. Do not quote me for that, baka patayin ako. Pero I've been lobbying about this. The issue in incineration is takot ang mga tao. Like, takot ang mga tao sa nuclear. Right? Pero how often did the nuclear disaster happen? Literally, for nuclear power plants. Only once, Chernobyl. Tama ba? And it was because they were idiots, di ba? Parang foolish, nagmamadali, nagmamayabang, prideful, right? Arrogante yung mga leaders doon, gusto nila magpasikat, inunahan nila. But I believe that there's a way pa rin forward. Hopefully, magkaroon tayo ng mga matatalino at walang political favors. Alam niyo, Pilipinas, may pag-asa naman talaga tayo if we just do our job. We are accountable to each other. Diba? So, dito yung sludge, ang ginagawa nila, sa sobrang dami kasi, what we do is, we reduce the volume. Up to 95% reduction ng volume by pressing it using a filter press. Ganon. And then once it is pressed na in a filter, pinatutuyo yun sa araw. And sometimes you can actually discharge it as solid waste. Pwede yun. Or you can treat it a little bit and use it as fertilizer conditioner, soil conditioner. Pwede yun. So it's not impossible. Manila does that. Manila Water does that. We help them do a study under UP before, UP Diliman College of Engineering. Nag-study kami and then they're doing that somewhere in Pampanga. Alright? So I hope I answered your question.
Again, for those who have questions or wish to gain further insights to Engineer Richard, you may proceed to the nearest microphone. Please remember to state your name and section before posing your question.
Ano yan eh, simple lang eh. Boring o walang pera. Kaya wala nagtatanong. Biro lang.
Wala magtatanong. Ako sige, ako muna. Ano po, Ethan Jacob Culiates from 4MEC. So, na-mention po nung kasama ko po is yung recent plant visit po namin. So, pumunta po kasi kami sa isang wastewater treatment plant sa Japan. Sa sewage treatment plant. So, yung question ko po is, dun po kasi sa plant na napuntahan namin, meron po silang extra parang filtration step na parang something about sa sand. So parang pinatry po nilang painumin sa amin yung tubig. Nakita po namin kung gaano kadumi yung tubig at first. Like, yung na-mention nyo na may poopy water nga siya, poopy water. So ininom din po namin yung after nung process. Tapos parang, masarap naman siya. I mean, hindi yung, alam mo na yun. Hindi yung poopy water. So parang thinking about it, poopy water tapos inumin. So kayo po ba personally parang sa tingin niyo po ba yung current na setup ng ng water treatment natin dito sa Pilipinas is safe po bang inumin yung tubig na hindi po ako magkakasakit? And sa tingin niyo po ba, marerecommend niyo po ba na dagdagan po ng extra steps po yung current po natin na water treatment?
Okay, I'll try to digest your question. I think there are several things to that. One is, yung sa Japan, malinis yun. Kasi there's what you call science and psychology. Tama, di ba? Or facts and emotions. Tama ba yan? Make sense? So, yung facts say it's clean. But the question is, will your mind accept it and drink it? Tama? Kayo na mag-decide. Pero as an engineer or as a scientist or whatever na factual person, kasi merong practical na tao, merong reasonable yung tao, meron ding emotional na tao. Hindi mo makukonvince yun. Tama? Depende yun sa sino kausap mo. Iinumin ko yun. So, dito sa Pilipinas, ang question mo next was, yung tap water ba? Kailangan ko bang dagdagan? If you are not concerned about chlorine or taste, yung yung medyo slight off taste because of chlorine, safe naman yon. And to a certain extent, yung chlorine naman, 100 plus years bago ka magka-cancer kung tuloy-tuloy mo siyang inumin. I mean, you'll die before you actually die of cancer. Alright? But, here's a but. There is a good understanding that chlorine is actually not good for your body, not only for cancer, but for other reasons. So if you want to truly be healthy, a simple activated carbon filter will remove the chlorine. And then yung kanina sabi mo ceramic filter to remove some of the solids is good enough. Alright? And then pwede mong dagdagan ng alkaline na granule so that it will become even high pH. But generally, Philippines have the capability, technology, capacity, and intellect to make the best systems in the world. Yun yung masasabi ko sa inyo. Ang problema dito, politika. Yun talaga yun. Or the lack of political will. Yun yun. Yeah? We are intelligent people, guys. The Filipinos, when we go out of our country, we are respected. Dito lang tayo hindi nire-respeto. Ewan ko ba? Alright, I hope I'm not changing your mindset.
Engineer, last question po. As a mechanical engineer here in the Philippines, how hard this field is, especially po dito sa Philippines?
This might be one of the most boring things It really depends. I think engineers, or I forgot her family name. Engineer Mejares expressed it, di ba? Sabi niya, kung meron kayong opportunity, tapos yung opportunity na yun aligns with your passion, go for it. Ang problema kasi sa mga ganitong klaseng systems, they're quite boring kasi talagang natural. Pero if you love solving problems, wastewater, iba-iba naman talagang wastewater. And if you love the fact that you are actually helping keep the water of people safe, then go for it. I think as a business, malaki yung opportunity. As a business, because kita nyo naman, 20% lang yung cover. That means more than, or 15%. So that means more than 80% is still not covered. Ibig sabihin, if you become a business person, learn the craft, create, there's a huge market. And that might be something that you will be successful in doing. Magiging competitor lang tayo. Hindi, biro lang. That's okay. Mentor na lang ang gagawin natin.
Thank you so much, Engineer Richard, for that. Once again, thank you for joining us for the wonderful afternoon and sharing your professional experiences. Ay, meron pa po ba? Last question.
I'm Ramses Rodan from 2MEC. Yung tanong lang po namin when it comes to this, what are the ano pang major issues or challenges na we have to consider when trying to restructure or integrate yung itong kinds of system or wastewater management effectively sa Philippines, whether it's technological or systematic po?
The key is actually systematic. Sa Philippines, tama, you pin down the most two important components of success in water treatment, wastewater treatment, in any aspect at all, in any area. Systemic is a very important issue. Kasi ang sistema ng Pilipinas, bahala kayo. Di ba? Yun talaga yun eh. Right? Gagawa ng batas ang, hindi ako nagraranta. Ganito lang talaga itsura ko. Ganito lang talaga ako nag-uusap. Pero mga passionate sa ganong klase. Anyway, gumawa ng batas ang Pilipinas, okay? Yung mga congressmen natin, and rightly so, tama naman. Kasi protect the waters nga eh. Pero, next doon is, nandyan yung government para habulin yung sino yung hindi nagko-comply. Sino yung mga hindi nagko-comply? Penalty. Imbis na tulungan. That is where the system is becoming an issue. So we need to have a Philippines that actually supports businesses because businesses will allow the country to thrive. Yeah? So yes, the processes are already there, but the systems on top level, national level, diba, government level, that I think is something that we need to resolve. Let's take DPWH for an example. That is a very continuing issue pa rin siya, di ba, until now? Yeah. Thank you, I love your question. I love your questions, by the way. Thank you.
Once again, thank you for joining us on the wonderful afternoon and sharing your insightful talk as a mechanical engineer. It was definitely an interesting and insightful talk for our audience to digest.
Now, we would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to Engineer Richard Bryan, as we present this certificate as a token of appreciation. We also invite the project heads of Beyond ME 2025, the officers in charge, and the advisor of MEC to kindly join us on stage. This certificate is proudly presented to Engineer Richard Bryan with PSEnvi MEC in recognition of his valuable insights and expertise shared as a guest speaker during Beyond ME 2025. Given this December 2, 2025 of the UST Engineering Conference Hall. We will also ask for Engineer Richard Bryan to remain at the front, and we may also call on the Documentation Committee representative for the photo opportunity. Once again, let's give him a round of applause. Now, before we head to the next part of our event, we would like to take this opportunity to once again thank our sponsors. This event is co-presented by Prime Review Center, the best #1 mechanical engineering review center or institute in the Philippines.
Nag-video